I am so excited to be here in Jackson, Georgia today with the three of you. It is, it's an exciting time for Jackson. So ETAG has traveled across the state of Georgia and been privileged to talk with a lot of towns and cities who are creating these immersive experiences for fans around the world. And you guys are at the top of the list. So super excited to hear from each of you and to get some perspective. So I wanted to start off just by giving each of you an opportunity to talk about, from your perspective, some of you grew up here, some of you are newer to Jackson. Where did it all start and where are we today? Like, what have you seen happen here?
Mr. Mayor, I think since you grew up here.
Well, Lynda, thank you and ETAG for being here in Jackson. Welcome to Jackson, as always.
Thank you.
You know, I've seen this town really evolve into the nice charm that it is today. I grew up just south of here, just south of the square. Used to play on the square all the time as a child.
Yeah.
I mean, we always have people that visit our little quaint stores around the square, but I left for 26 years, graduated high school and went off to college and came back. And you know, when I returned in 2019, there's a lot of new things happening. A lot of new people, new faces, a lot of new businesses. But the one thing that was really evident was Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about Stranger Things, but I was introduced and I was immersed into it by our citizens and Hannah and Cameron and understanding what it meant to Jackson. So we've seen a great evolution of Jackson over the last few years.
That's awesome. So we talked a little before the interview about, you know, all of the productions that have been filmed here. And of course your claim to fame is Stranger Things, but there's been so much other activity here over the years. So let's talk a little bit about what's happened here, any other historical connections to Jackson.
So we have on the books 27 and still getting scouted every day. We have somebody coming to visit tomorrow.
Yay.
To actually scout out this location. Everything from Medea's Christmas to Zombie Land to so we have more than a few things on our books, but really and truly Stranger Things. This community has done a great job and kind of everybody, I would say, coming together and getting on the same page with how to best invite people here.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of that too, because it's not all roses. It's a journey,
Yes.
right? And it's a private-public partnership, and getting everyone rowing in the same direction,
Yes.
as we talked about earlier. So Hannah, you and Cameron came here with no real history, no connections here. So tell us a little bit about how that evolved and how you saw tremendous opportunity.
Thank you. Yes, so my husband and I own Hawkins Headquarters and Stranger Tours in downtown Jackson. We are Atlanta natives, so we came from a large cityscape to Jackson, and we actually moved here during the filming of Stranger Things Season 1.
Okay.
We thought we had a Melvald's General Store, a major iconic location in the show. We thought we had a Radio Shack because that's what we saw on the street. And so it was apparent, look at this quaint place. It looks so safe and adorable. We found our home off the square and immediately settled in. And what I think is so interesting when we start, so we've been in business on the square 6 years in March. So we've also evolved. We've have another business, and what we learned in the first couple of years is how to be what we call a third space or a welcoming space to Stranger Things fans. It really wasn't so much a business model as we wanted people to be able to enjoy visiting the town, pointing out major iconic filming locations, you know, just relaxing and spending time here. The evolution was, how do we do a tour? We'd never owned a tour company. Someone said, is anybody gonna do tours? And Cameron and I said, gosh, wouldn't that be fun? And so we started with zero experience. And I think that was a blessing, because when you don't know all the pitfalls, you just go in like all energy, just very excited. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna walk the streets and take strangers to this, and we're also very creative people. And what happened? Creative people need outlets like this, and we need to be able to do something out of the box. And so, with the support of the local chamber and with the support of the city, we were able to be creative, be different, and be very supported here. Which is great, and we need it, and the employees and the team members that we have, they're also like us. They're also out of the box, and this keeps sort of the integral part of the show, the creative spirit, but it invites a world that also loves different.
Yes.
They like the different stuff that we're doing. So that's why I think it's so special.
That's awesome. So talk a little bit about what the town looked like prior to Stranger Things coming here, and what made Jackson so intriguing to be a focal film site for Stranger Things.
Well, I will say, back to that little charm town, we did have a Radio Shack on the corner. We did have a general store here for a long time when I was a kid. We did have, small mom and pop boutiques. Those things existed, when we were growing up. But over the years, as families started to move on, a lot of those storefronts were closed.
Yeah.
The Radio Shack closed, the general store closed. So all these places closed, and so it became really quiet around our square.
Yeah.
But here comes Stranger Things, and here comes the Camerons and the Hannahs of the world. Here comes Jacqueline, thinking, how can we revitalize this town?
Yeah.
And then I moved home.
Yes, yes, and then you moved back. So let me get into the number of people. I heard 105,000. Is that accurate? We're on the square in December.
From our Bright Friday, not Black Friday in Jackson, Bright Friday, when we lit up the town square through January 6th, it was 105,000 people, which was a 33% increase, which is incredible when you think about the amount of growth and what that does for our square downtown
Just
businesses.
the economic impact overall. And take it to the next level. So, from ETAG's perspective, we see Georgia becoming, the whole state becoming its own Disney World organically. Imagine if we brought all the music history, the 2,000 plus productions that have been shot here, to life in Georgia. The whole state becomes a theme park for statewide scavenger hunts, creating your own custom trip across Georgia. So if you love Stranger Things, you're going one, you guys already have the Supernatural Highway, which I love, that's connecting Covington to Jackson and Sonoya from a film perspective. But imagine if you can do that all over the state. And now your family gets to look at everything and go, we love this show, and you get to create that whole custom trip. That's very personal and memorable for your family, and you can't get it anywhere else.
Well, World Cup will be here in just a few months.
Yes.
So that whole traffic, something I think we talked on our call about, kind of turn the light on for me. It's like, wow. So that's going to be a whole nother group of individuals that's never visited Jackson that now, as part of their World Cup trip, they'll come visit us as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
Looking forward to that.
Awesome. So for the final question to wrap us all up, ETAG is on this journey across Georgia. I'm a visionary, and I say this all the time, there's gold on the ground across the state. And all these communities have to do is bend over and pick it up. And they can decide their own level of investment, which sometimes is so small. But the economic impact year after year is huge, as you have all attested to. So as we close, what word of advice do you have to other communities who are considering creating some level of immersive experience for a fan base? What would you tell them?
So from the city's perspective, my word is be intentional. With everything you do, whether it's through your ordinances, whether it's through collaboration with our partners or your partners, be intentional, because this is the thing that makes it go. You know, the thing that I learned a little bit ago was either it will happen for you or happen to you.
You got
And
it.
so we want to make sure that it's happening for us. You know, we don't want it to organically grow around us as a city and we don't get to partake in it.
Yes.
And so I think if city governments, we don't have to have all the answers. Our teams don't have to have all the answers, but collaboratively, if we can all come together, we can make it work.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. It's incredible hearing each of your perspectives and just seeing what's been done here. And I know there's so much more coming on the horizon. So thank you for sharing your time and knowledge and expertise with us today.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Linda.
Thank you for coming.